Well, hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of Glorious Life on Wheels, where I talk about all kind of things from van life to issues that impact seniors, cost of living, you name it. Everything that will have some interest to my viewers and also impact our lives. Today, I'm going to talk about an interaction I had with a miserable person. I'm sure all of you have encountered these kinds of individuals. Sometimes it's really apparent that they're miserable, but sometimes they sneak up on you. And I'm going to share my experience with this individual. And I'd love for you to give me your opinion and maybe share some of your experiences with these types of people and what you have done and how you deal with individuals like that when you encounter them. Oh, I almost forgot. Before we jump in, can you hit that like button? And if you're not a subscriber and a member of the Globy family, for crying out loud, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. As I travel the country doing interviews and tours and getting content for my channel, every year I meet literally 1,000 or more people, both in person and online. And the overwhelming majority of those contacts and interactions are very positive, especially among van life folks. But every once in a while, I will have a situation where it's kind of unpleasant. And this is about one of those situations that happened online with one of my comments. And it's about an interaction I had with someone I'm now calling a troll. Well, I did a video. I didn't consider this video anything controversial. It was a candid video of something that happened that I happened to catch while I was out and about. And I posted the video, and the person who responded asked me a question. Now, dumb me, I'm an interviewer. So when I ask a question, I really expect the person to give me an honest answer. And if I ask a question, particularly if it's someone who I think may have a different opinion than I do, I'm really seeking to hear their truth or the truth, whichever it is, because I want to understand how they came to their conclusion and see if they can provide me any additional information that might change my opinion on the topic. So that's how I went into answering this question. So I took a little time thinking of how I wanted to answer it honestly but tactfully, and I answered the question. Well, I tell you, this person went bat, you know what, bonkers. She absolutely lost it when I gave an answer. And as I'm reading her response, I realized something. And, because before I answered, I thought I really need to weigh out my answer on this. But I realized that this person, as is often the case, they didn't really want the truth. They didn't want my opinion. They didn't care about what I thought. What they were trying to do was to shame me into thinking how they thought and to convince me that I was wrong and that they were right. And again, her response to my answer made that really clear. I'm wondering, have you ever had someone who asks you a question and when you give them the honest answer, they lose it? I'm wondering, if you have, could you put it down, share it in the comments, and let me know, how did you respond? Well, I responded, by saying to this person, I was mistaken. I thought that you really wanted my truthful answer, and clearly you didn't. So I'm going to discontinue any discourse from this point forward. And I erased the comment altogether and I blocked this individual. But it got me to thinking more and more about people who do that. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I don't pretend to be. I don't even have a whole lot of insight sometimes. But I do believe that people that do that are bullies. They really believe that by intimidation or humiliation or whatever, that they can shame you into capitulating, and if not, at least agreeing with them, going away. And you know, one thing I have a real low tolerance for, in fact, I have zero tolerance for, is a bully. But it really, really reminded me of, have you seen that movie? I can't remember the name of it, but it's a movie that Jack Nicholson was in and Tom Cruise, and it was a courtroom thing, and Jack Nicholson was on the stand and Tom Cruise was interrogating him or questioning him, and Jack Nicholson, said very dramatically, "You can't take the truth." And there's a lot of people who can't take the truth. And I think it's because the issue that they're so upset and uptight about, it's something in their background or in their history. It's a trigger. It triggers them. And I'm just here to tell you, when people get that upset, and maybe it's a lesson you can learn from what I learned, it's not about you. It's about them. And no answer you give, other than the one they want to hear, is going to satisfy them. But anyhow, that's my thought. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Do you think that people who do that are bullies? Or do you think something else is going on? Should I have not been so, harsh as to block them and erase the comment? Let me know what you think. And meanwhile, I have a van tour coming up. It's a very simple van tour. It's something I've never done before. The person was willing for me to tour their van, but they didn't want to be on camera. I have never done that before, and I just have made a practice of not doing this. But I thought they had some interesting ideas. It's a very basic build, and I thought it could be helpful to someone who might be doing a build on a low budget and could utilize some of the ideas that they had in this build. So stay tuned. I hope to have that video up either tomorrow or the day after. And also, I still have part 2 of this series. It's just taken more work than I planned, on why people are leaving California in droves. All right. May your journeys be filled with joy and blessings, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.